ready to go back to Tuna's. You're on your own, she replies. You're such a jinx. I'll stay here. She calls Tuna and tells her she won't come tonight because it's too late. Then she goes to sleep in her room. Our male lead is overjoyed. In the morning, he makes her breakfast, finishes his work quickly, and hurries back home before her to prepare lunch too. But when he gets there, he's shocked to see she hasn't eaten any of the breakfast. He gets worried and checks on her, finding her with a high fever. He stays by her all night until she starts to feel it. When she wakes up and sees him, and she's afraid he might kick her out. So as soon as he gets home, she tells him, "Your wish is my command, made for the day. How about that?" "Since when did you become so lucky?" She says, "Starting today. I've always been a good girl from a respectable family, never raised my voice, always clean." He interrupts her. "Speak clearly. What did you screw up, miss?" She says to him, "You caught me. To be honest, I quit my job and haven't found any new one yet, which means I don't have money to live somewhere else. So I'm going to stay here, eat and drink for free in exchange for cooking and cleaning. What do you think?" He says, "Oh, of course I agree, but on one condition. You have to do what I say." He takes her with him to the market, and while they're there, Ty sees them together. He secretly follows them until he realizes that they've been living together this whole time. He gets furious and confronts her, shouting, "How could you not tell me you've been living with a random guy all this time?" She replies, "Excuse me, and who exactly are you to tell me who I should live with? For your information, we're just friends."
Okay.
Before he can respond and continue the argument, our male lead pulls Ty aside and says, "Let me explain everything. Look, the whole thing happened by coincidence. We never planned to live together or anything like that." "So, I'm just a fool stamped on the forehead, huh? You love her, don't you? Even though you know I still like her, you went behind my back and betrayed me. I'll never forgive you." He punches him, but our calm male lead stays quiet and refuses to fight back. That makes Ty feel guilty, and he apologizes again. The male lead says, "It's fine, I'll let it go. Only if you go apologize to her too." So Ty goes to her and asks if they can be friends again, promising not to fight with her anymore. She agrees to forgive him. Later on, she treats our male lead's injury, and when she gets close, he starts to feel he might actually be falling for her. When he comes back from work, he finds her sitting with a little boy and asks, "Who's that?" She tells him the boy is Kato's son, and that Kato asked her to watch him for the day. The boy is polite, and his name is Ding. She spends all her time playing with Ding, which makes the male lead feel jealous and upset, as if Ding has taken her away from him. When he finds out they're going to sleep in the same room, he loses it and says, "No way, that can't happen in this house." She tells him, "What house? He's just a little kid." He replies, "Yeah, but his birth certificate says he's male, so I'll take him to sleep in my room instead." He ends up regretting that decision. Ding keeps tossing and turning all night, but still our male lead stays quiet and puts up with it. The next day she tells him that she's going out to buy a few things, and will take him with her. He ends up going with them too, and she takes them to a restaurant. They all keep playing and laughing the whole time. Eventually, the male lead starts to warm up to the boy and joins in the fun. Ding gets excited and starts calling him Daddy and calls her Mommy, saying, "This is the family we've been waiting for." Just then, Mimi passes by and sees them together. She gets angry when she notices how close they look. C tries to explain before Mimi gets the wrong idea, but he tells her not to bother, letting her think. They return home, and Kato comes by to pick up her son. Right then, Sai receives a phone call telling her she's finally got a job. They ask her to come to the company the next day. The male lead congratulates her and reassures her that she'll do great in the interview. When she arrives, the manager tells her that after reading her resume, he noticed she has no experience in anything. He says, "Basically, you're useless, but I felt sorry for you, so I'm giving you a simple job. You'll be the manager of a famous idol named Zayn." He adds, "Don't embarrass me now." "Manager, huh?" She replies, "Of course not, I'll do my best." Later, when the male lead is at work, Mimi asks him about the kid and whether he's in a relationship. He says the boy is Kato's son, their neighbors. Meanwhile, C returns home and decides to celebrate her new job by cooking a big meal. But since she's always unlucky, a fire breaks out in the whole building. The fire alarm goes off and everyone rushes out. The male lead arrives and is shocked to learn that she's still inside. He rushes up to check on her and finds her just in time, quickly getting her out of the apartment. She apologizes for burning the kitchen and almost setting the whole building on fire. Expecting him to be angry, he surprises her by saying, "It's okay, you're worth it." She's touched by his words and offers to treat him to dinner to make up for destroying his kitchen. She says, "I'll take you to the fanciest restaurant in all of Thailand. You'll be licking your fingers." He replies, "I want you to spoil me then." He goes with her bravely, eats a lot, and ends up with food poisoning. She rushes him to the hospital and stays by his side all night until she's sure he's okay. The next day,
Dude, what happened?
Meets the famous idol Zayn. She's shocked by his fame and how crazy all the girls are for him. She scoffs and says, "Seriously? What do they see in him? He's not even my type." He walks up to her casually and asks, "So, what exactly am I supposed to do?" He quickly realizes she's new and thinks she seems slow and clueless. He starts mocking her, and she tells him, "Take it easy, will you? It's my first day." Looking unimpressed, he says, "That's it. I'm calling the company and asking how they could send me a rookie like you." She acts all pitiful and says, "Why are you being so mean to me? I finally got a job." He feels sorry for her and agrees to leave her alone on one condition, that she doesn't cause him trouble or interfere with his work. He says, "That's fine, no problem." Then one of his fans comes over and gives her a photo of Zayn, telling her she loves him and wants his autograph. She takes the photo and goes to Zayn to ask for his autograph, but he refuses, saying he doesn't have time for such nonsense. Wanting to please the fan, she takes matters into her own hands and tries to copy his signature. She gives the autographed photo to the girl, who gets excited and later tries to sell it. But someone notices the signature is fake. Chaos erupts and everyone starts mocking her, calling her a liar and starting a fight. The girl defends herself by pointing at Sai, saying, "She's the one who told me Zayn signed it." They grab Sai, but Zayn steps in, helps her, and calms everyone down. He tells them not to worry and says he'll sign the photos for them, just no more drama. He takes all the photos and makes Sai sign them instead. Because of this, she ends up with even more work and has to stay late. The male lead notices how late it's getting and sends her a message saying he'll come pick her up. She replies, "I have a lot of work," but he insists he'll wait anyway. She says, "Fine, do what you want." Zayn starts to feel sorry for her and offers to drive her home, hinting that he's starting to like her because she's kind. She declines, saying her friend is coming to pick her up. He says, "As you wish," and leaves. Right then, the male lead shows up and takes her home. He thinks about finally confessing his feelings, but doesn't have the courage yet. So he buys a book on how to confess love. The first rule in the book says, like their videos and subscribe to their channel. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything they post. He actually takes it seriously and starts doing just that. Meanwhile, she goes to work and Zayn starts bullying her again by giving her loads of tasks to keep her close to him. She doesn't fight back, but she's overwhelmed and miserable. Then the secretary comes in and tells her that Hanaya, the model, is supposed to shoot an ad with Zayn, but she hasn't shown up yet. Zayn is upset and wants to leave. The secretary finishes by saying, "Your story was sweet and all, but now here's what you need to do. You need to convince Zayn to wait." She says, "Okay, may God deal with the cruel and unjust." She goes to convince him, telling him she'll be here soon, I'm sure, but Zayn replies, "I don't want to hear another word. I'm leaving if she doesn't show up right now." He says, "Wait, we'll figure it out. We'll get you another girl in for you." He says, No way, but if you're the one replacing her, then I don't mind." She's forced to agree so he won't walk out, and she ends up doing the shoot with him. Just then, Hanaya shows up and gets angry when she sees him. She turns out to be his ex-girlfriend. She pushes Sai away and starts a fight with him. Now he keeps fuming and says, "What's going on? If you had done your job and hadn't been late, I wouldn't have ended up shooting with another girl. Does she even look like someone fit to be photographed with me?" She snaps back. "What do you mean photographed with you? You told me to pose with you. Did you bring me here just to humiliate me or what?" He says, "So now you're calling me a liar? Fine, I'm done filming," and walks away. She follows him and says, "Fine, I'm the liar," pleading in her own way for him to come back and finish the shoot. He agrees on one condition, that she stays with him until the shoot ends. She does stay and takes care of him. Meanwhile, our male lead arrives and sees them together. feels jealous and assumes something is going on between them. That pushes him to finally take a step before he leaves. On March 14th, he surprises her with a gift. She gets excited and says, "Finally you felt something, you donkey. What's the occasion, huh?" He replies, "Open it first and I'll tell you." She opens the gift and finds a pillow with Einstein's face on it. She laughs and says, "What's this? Wow, who's that even supposed to be? Must be whatever to you too." He tells her, "Today's Einstein's birthday, and I thought there's no better time to give a delicate girl like you my favorite pillow. You can have it. I don't want it anymore." She teases, "You said I like pillows. And who even is Einstein?" "I've been a failure my whole life." He says, "You didn't like it? But it looks cute, right?" He still wants to get closer to her, so he sticks to the book's advice and follows the steps. Then he goes to Ty and tells him the whole story. Ty agrees, on one condition, that he buys him dinner. So they go to a restaurant where they see someone harassing the girl. Our male lead rushes over to help, but ends up getting caught in the mess. Ty tries to defend him, but they end up beating him up too. He yells, "Why am I even involved?" and runs off. He quickly calls Ty and asks him for help. He brings Zane along since he was sitting nearby, and they go to rescue them. When they arrive, the police are already there and want to arrest them, but Zane uses his connections to get them released, and has the actual harasser arrested. After everything is settled, Sai returns home, and the male lead sends her a message thanking her and Zane for helping him that day. He also asks, she smiles and replies, "Go out where exactly?" He dodges the question, saying, "You'll see, I'm going to blow your mind." The real reason is that he wants to practice how to date a girl, so he says, "Let's go out and do a mock date so I can practice." She agrees, and the next day she puts on her best outfit. He takes her to a fancy restaurant and spends the whole time stunned by how cute she is. He tries to gather his courage to confess that she's the girl he actually wants to date. But before he can say anything, she gets a call from Zane. Zane tells her, "I want you in front of me right now. If you don't show up in 15 minutes, consider yourself fired." She goes to him and finds him at the amusement park. She asks, "What do you want me to do now?" He replies, "Entertain me." She says, "What exactly do you mean by entertain?" He answers, "Turn into a monkey and dance for me." She says, "Turn into a monkey? Are you serious? It's my day off, for God's sake. I was just about to enjoy a dinner date with the guy who invited me out tonight. He was clearly into me." He replies, "I don't care. You're spending the day with me, keeping me company." Then he grabs her hand forcefully, but just in time, our male lead shows up and says, "Hands off her, buddy, or I'll make sure you miss them." Zane asks, "Who are you and what's your problem?" Just as they're about to start fighting, Sai steps in and says, "Enough babysitting my nephews or what? Let's just all hang out together, the three of us." But our male lead gets dizzy and can't handle most of the rides. Eventually, they decide to go into the haunted house. Again, he starts plotting revenge on Zane and sneaks away, leaving Sai and Zane alone together. They try to enjoy their time, but Zane suddenly calls her in a panic, saying, "Come help me. Fans are everywhere. I'm surrounded. What do I do?" She starts heading out to help him, but our male lead stops her and asks her to distract the fans while he goes to rescue Zane himself. When he reaches Zane, he says, "Let's go. This is your chance to escape." Zane replies, "Can I ask you a question?" Our male lead snaps, "Alex! Move." Zane says, "You like Fifi, don't you?" He answers, "None of your business. Say one more word and I'll shout out your location." Zane says, Okay, I didn't say anything, I'll shut up." That's more like it. Since you're cooperating, I'll help you. And drags him out. They meet Sai at the other gate. Later, the day is set. The director tells them there will be a dinner party to celebrate the end of the shoot, and invites Sai too. At the dinner, he ends up drinking too much and creates a scene. Around that time,